Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, you stupid motherfucker!
You're gonna find me dead! I'm gonna kill myself!
Hit the fucking guy! What the fuck is he doing?
I'm gonna be hanging from the bathroom!
They got the leg!
Don't ask me to do nothing! This is nothing!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Steel Here podcast, where I'm your host, Kevin Adams, alongside my partner in crime, Jersey Jerry. And it has been a while since it's just been Jerry and I on the mic here, so it's going to be nice to touch base and catch up. We've done some pretty exciting things since we last spoke to you guys. So, Jerry, let's start. Jerry came to town about, 3 weeks ago now, Jerry? It was the week before the Super Bowl. And we got to sit down, have dinner with Kenny, and we'll tell you guys a little bit about how that went. So, Jerry, tell them how that all came to be.
Yeah, that just was really amazing. One of the best dinners I've ever had, actually. That place is really good. Shout out them. Del Frisco, right?
Del Frisco's downtown, yep.
Oh, man, yeah. Kenny said it was a new spot, good spot. He likes going there. Nah, dude, I mean, just like, I've had dinner with Kenny in the past, and, me and Kenny were texting back and forth, and pretty much said, yeah, I'll be in Pittsburgh, this date, and I'll be there for a couple days. The Pittsburgh Panthers wrestling team invited me, and then right away he's like, yeah, let's grab some dinner. Let's get dinner one night. So we had dinner, me, you, Kenny, and then Jim. Jim's a different breed.
He's a good dude.
He's a solid dude. I like that dude. But yeah, man, just a cool dinner. And what's cool about it is, we don't ever have to really say anything about some of the stuff we see online and whatnot.
Right.
We know. Now we know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to have that little edge on people. The only shitty part I'd say about some of this is you have information, information,
right.
But it's disrespectful because now I can't out my friend like that, and not that he was talking anything disrespectful, because if anything, we were trying to ask him stuff so he would say something negative. He was all positive. Everything was all positive. So, the thing is, you see some of these stories and you're like, man, that couldn't be further from the truth. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was good to sit down. It was like a 3-hour Steelers dinner where nothing else was really talked about besides Steelers football, which was really, really awesome. And I'm sure the next time it'll just be about bullshit and whatnot. From here on out, whenever we do go back or whenever we interview Kenny, I'm sure it'll be so much more laid back, but it was cool to get that experience. Because even my first dinner with Kenny, we talked Steelers football, but not to the extent we did. And that was probably because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we talked, but not as much as we did this time. It was pretty much 3 straight hours of questions, debates, answers about Steelers football. One thing I will say, what I took away from the whole dinner is, biased aside, if you're looking at it without biased, that's the type of guy you want at quarterback. It really is.
Without a doubt. And guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you about this. So obviously Jerry he gets to mingle and rub elbows with some really high profile people, some people that it's just like, wow, that's fucking crazy. I am nowhere near on the same page as Jerry is right now. So to sit across the table from Kenny Pickett, I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback, hopefully the face of our franchise, as a fan, and that's literally all I am, is just a fucking Steelers fan. As a fan of the team, to be able to sit there for 3 hours, share wine with Kenny. So, initially I was nervous as fuck. We got there.
You guys were breaking bread.
You're right. The first 10 minutes, I don't say a word. I don't say a fucking peep. I hardly look away from my menu. I'm just nervous as fuck. Like I've never been around somebody that makes me like that nervous. I love to talk. I'm very easy to talk to. I can have a conversation with anybody, but those first 10 minutes, Kenny's like, the waiter's like, you guys want to have some wine? And I'm like, I mean, Jerry doesn't really drink. I didn't want to, Jim said he wasn't drinking. And Kenny's like,
drink. Jerry doesn't.
Jerry doesn't drink. So, and I don't like to offend him when I'm with Jerry. So I try not to, engage in alcohol and things of that nature. So when Kenny says, am I drinking alone? I'm like, I'm not going to let fucking Kenny drink alone here.
Hell no, hell no.
So the waiter brings me a glass. I pound that first glass of wine, and it's like, all right, for 3 hours, it's just dudes talking football. And it was the easiest conversation I could have had. It was if I was hanging out with like my best friends, because Kenny, the
Yeah.
way he talks football, the way he knows football, it was a surreal night. And,
Yeah.
and like I'm grateful to our fans that give us a platform, that we're recognized and have the ability to do things like that, because without you guys, Jersey Jerry wouldn't be Jersey Jerry. I wouldn't have anywhere near the types of things that have come down my road here this last year and a half. So I do appreciate you guys, but Jerry's right. Kenny had said some things that it's like, and I
You don't
pushed.
think about. You don't think about.
No, at all. And I pushed for these things like towards the end. I mean, I'm kind of buzzed. Like we've had some wine, I was so engaged in that conversation. I didn't want it to end. 3 hours flies. Like you guys have no fucking idea. 3 hours at the end of it, Kenny's like, all right, we got to bounce. Like we have a party for my friend.
They
I'm
were
like,
late an hour and a half to a surprise birthday party.
right. It was fucking crazy. So towards the end of it, I'm asking questions, like questions you guys would want me to ask. Trust me, I fucking asked them. And the only real thing that we can say about any of that is Jerry and I might have different opinions on a lot of things, because we're fans. And you guys, we're all going to have different opinions. But it's been 3 weeks now, and I've thought about this a lot since that dinner. And Kenny had said some things, and we had a conversation with Moats. Remember, Jerry? And we asked Moats something
Yeah.
like, "You think these guys like are gonna talk shit about anyone, or?" And Moats is like, "No. Like in a locker room, you're not really thinking about you want this guy fired or you wish this changed. Like you're not thinking about
Yeah.
that shit. You're riding. That's your guy. You ride with him."
Exactly.
Having said all of that, there are things that, yeah, maybe Jerry and it's not going to stop me from critiquing it. Like I'm still going to critique it, but I'm going to give it a fair shake. I'm going to give it a fair shake. We're going to get to camp. We're going to see how the first 4 weeks of the season goes. It's not going to stop me from saying things that I think are still true, but I see it from a different side now, because Kenny
Yeah.
gave us explanations to things that you would never think of as a fan. And it made perfect sense when he told us stuff. It doesn't change the fact that Jerry and I feel the way that we feel, but it gives me, I can sleep at night, now knowing that Kenny does stand by some of these people, and it's hard to really shy away from that, knowing it now that we know it. But yeah, it was fucking special. It was an insane night. It was a blast. And then
He's just a professional, bro. You guys are having a couple glasses of wine and stuff like that. He's not, you guys are both probably tipsy. He could have said a million things, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? A million different things. Yeah, this guy that guy that. No, he wants to win. Bottom line is he just wants to win. He
That's it.
doesn't care if he throws for 10 yards with 4 picks. If the Steelers win, great. Got the win. That's all that matters. He doesn't care if Najee Harris rushes for 10 yards. Doesn't care
Right.
if Deontay doesn't get the ball this play, or George doesn't get it that play, or Pat doesn't get it that play. It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to make a play for us to win, and that's all that matters in this league is just W's. That's it.
And that's exactly what I took away from that. And the only other thing I'll tell you guys about what was said. So Kenny said something, and it made me want to flip the fucking table. So he ended up going to Radio Row Super Bowl week, but he wasn't going to the game. So Jerry asked him, he's like, "Are you going to end up going to the game, Kenny?" Kenny's like, "No, fuck that. The only time I'm going to that game is when we play in it." And I could have fucking
Yeah.
flipped the
And that
table.
was
I mean,
end of the night.
yes. I mean, my heart was fucking roar. I'm trying to act calm, like, oh yeah, no big deal. Fuck. I wanted to flip I could have stood on that fucking table and made an announcement to the entire restaurant, like, let's fucking go. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, man. But yeah, just a really dope experience. We're 100%. We don't have a time frame yet, but we talked to Kenny, and he is all for going out golfing one day, making a vlog out of it, and
Yep.
us shooting a podcast with him at the house in New Jersey. So that'll be really awesome. We'll get dinner afterwards or something like that. So it'll be really cool, to do and experience. And honestly, like I look at it and like, wow, man, this is so cool. We get to do these things. You know
It's
what I mean?
crazy. It's crazy,
cool.
Jerry.
It's cool we get to interview, Kenny, Zach Gentry, Connor Hayward, talk to
Mhm.
Moats and stuff like that. I mean, if you're Mark Madden, you can't do those things because nobody likes you. You know what I mean? You're not allowed 10 feet from the facility. So it must be tough on a guy like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so let's let the people know. So for everyone that might just watch the podcast, like, they don't see some of the stuff on Twitter. So we do that. We go to dinner with Kenny. That was on Thursday night, and then the entire weekend we're getting fucking attacked. Like Jerry especially is getting attacked on Twitter. We ended up then that Friday we went to record at 93.7 The Fan. Pony's people reached out. They wanted Jerry to come in, sit down, do a little quick 15 minutes on the radio. So we went over and we did that. And I mean, Mark Madden is calling us, if this is media, he's calling it the new media.
Yeah.
And he's coming for us. And like, here's the thing I don't understand. Would Jerry and I ever say no to that? Like Kenny's like, hey, you want to come hang out, like get dinner? Who the
Bring
fuck
your
is
boy.
gonna right?
Bring your boy, yeah.
Who's saying no to that? Like nobody. So if the fact that people are hating on us for doing things as fans, like literally two fucking fans of the Steelers, to shit on us for that type of stuff to me is just pure jealousy. I don't understand it. It's mind blowing to me.
That's all it is, because you know what is at the end of the day, this old fuck isn't allowed anywhere near the facility, hasn't had a relevant interview in over a decade. The whole organization hates him. All the players hate his guts.
Right.
I mean, even TJ Watt had a tweet a couple years ago like, who the fuck's this Mark Madden guy? He doesn't know shit, bro.
Right.
And the bottom line is his sources and him don't know a fucking thing, and they will never know a fucking thing because they're not allowed anywhere near there.
No.
The Steelers organization just does not like Mark Madden. And he sees it like, okay, here's this young fucking kid, right, who's big on Instagram, big on Twitter, gets all these follows, all these likes, all these interactions. Oh my God, he feels threatened. That's why he has to make a joke of it. You know what I mean? If before that, I wouldn't even hesitate to sit down with the guy, and if he wants to have a real conversation, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm open to that. But he just showed such a side to him that was such pure envy, jealousy, and hate. And he spent, after I obliterated him on Twitter with one tweet that buried his fat ass, he sat there for the next 24 hours trying to tweet through it like a little punk pussy boy, and he failed miserably. He looked like the biggest pussy I've ever seen on Twitter. And honestly, if I ever seen him face to face, I would spit right in his face because he's nothing more than a piece of shit scumbag pussy.
Right. Like, and so you guys can fucking hate on us all you want. Like, it does not fucking bother us when you do it. But to say that, oh, this is the new media, a bunch of podcasters and fanboys and shit like that.
What it is. It is.
We're trying to bring you guys content that nobody else is able to bring you. Like, we're trying to fucking engage with these guys and have them tell us things that they're not telling guys in suits and fucking the big media, if that's what you want to call it. If this is the new media, fuck it, Jerry, then that's what it is. We'll take it by the horns here. We're the new media. I don't care.
Dude, social media nowadays, nobody wants to sit there, black and white suit with a fucking microphone and to answer all these fucking specific, proper questions. No, dude, get loose, enjoy yourself, ask some stupid, funny questions, get to know the person. Similar to my TJ Watt interview, I asked some funny questions. I made it joking, but there was times where I asked serious questions about, what it's like to be a Steeler, get in depth about Mike Tomlin, what kind of guy he is. I've asked him a bunch of stuff, during the interview, a part of my take. So you could be loose and you could be serious at the same time. You know what I mean? And this guy's talking about, I'm the only person that would talk to Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu hasn't been relevant in a fucking decade, brother.
Right.
Who else have you talked to?
Right. That's exactly it. So I can see it. Like, hate on it. It's envy. There's some other fan accounts that fucking came at Jerry and shit. But like, look, we're not going to stop doing it just because you guys are upset about it. I mean, it's fucking insane. It's incredible. It's a blast. It's what the whole dream of starting this podcast is.
Of course, dude. And we're going to get plugged in. Dude, like, I'm not going to say his name, but we have like a serious plug now that we acquired last year. in the Steelers organization that whenever we go to a game, we're on the fucking field. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're going to have access that other people, podcasters and, just regular media people, some of them don't have. You know what I mean? So we got the plug now. Like, hey, we're here now. Guess what? Deal with it. Because guess what? We ain't fucking going nowhere. So I don't know what to say.
No. And so like that's all that I'm really going to say any further about it. But like we see the hate. I mean, we fucking see it. But if you think it's going to stop us, you're out of your fucking mind. So get used to it. This is the new media and we are still here. So get fucking used to it.
Yeah, especially that I wanted to give another little dig to that what's that account? The Blitzberg account. This guy, let me explain something about this guy. This guy was sucking. He was literally, there was spit coming out of his mouth. He was sucking my dick so hard for weeks and weeks, retweeting me, DMing me, liking my stuff, sharing my stuff. And all of a sudden, when he said something fucking stupid, and I called him out for it because it was fake fucking news, right? He gets upset, and I just mute the motherfucker because he's a fucking jerk off who doesn't know shit, who probably doesn't even live in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? And he claims he does all these things and he doesn't do them. So he got jealous and he blocked me. And then he starts to side with Mark Madden. Like, dude, you're just as irrelevant as this guy, bro. People could say, oh, Mark Madden does numbers and whatnot. I really don't see the numbers that guy's doing.
No. So I mean, look,
and Blitzberg doesn't do numbers. I mean, not even close. I could put HI, I could put high on my Twitter, and I would get more engagement than that guy could ever get in his life.
Right. So like that's why it's frustrating because ultimately all we're trying to do is just get information we might not get and give it back to you guys as fans. Like I don't fucking care about anything other than that.
It's a little more frustrating for you because you haven't been in this field. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like you've been in social media and stuff like that, but you haven't had this platform like now that you're getting, behind Barstool, behind me and shit. So now it's more frustrating for you, but you're going to get over that quick. Like for me, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I get this shit all the time. So it doesn't mean nothing to you, but I know sometimes it like pisses you off. And I got to tell you, like, dude, it's all good. Fuck these motherfuckers. It don't matter.
It drives me nuts because like fucking guys, I love this shit. Like the only fucking thing that I care about is the Steelers, and to be able to do this and to try and give the fans more experiences than they would ever get, to try and show them a peek behind the curtain, like to be shit on for that, man. I mean, some people it's just envy, and I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna stop. I'm sorry, and we'll leave it at that. So. Let's talk, Jerry, about the Super Bowl. Let's get into what we're going to do here. Well, this will be probably another 15 minutes tops as far as this episode is concerned. We're going to give it 2 weeks, and then we'll record after the Combine. So what we are going to do, like we said, we're going to do the interview with Kenny here in the offseason, go golfing, do all of that stuff. We're going to do Pat again at some point. We couldn't release it the first time around, as you guys know. So
playing the softball game too.
Yes, we have the celebrity softball game for Hayward. So we're probably going to give you guys episodes every other week here, or every 2 weeks, basically, as far as that's concerned, moving throughout. But I do want to touch base on what we saw in the Super Bowl because you saw some things that I would like to hope that the Pittsburgh Steelers can accomplish going into this next year. And it is how the Eagles have a dominant run game. And it was dominant, and it is so hard to stop that. The Chiefs really couldn't fucking stop it. And if the Steelers are going to go run heavy this season, I would like to see it be in a similar fashion to what the Eagles give us, because you can win that way. And they showed us that you can win that way, Jerry.
Yeah, no, they did, dude. Their offensive line is very, very good, dude. It's a physical offensive line. You don't have to have – listen, Miles Sanders, is he a good running back? Yes. Is he a great running back? No.
Right.
By no means is he a great Pro Bowl caliber year in, year out running back. He's just honestly not. He doesn't have crazy, crazy talent, but he's good enough to get it done.
Right.
And that's thanks to their offensive line and their scheme. You know what I mean? They're very good, and they're very balanced as well. And dude, Hurts played an incredible, incredible game. He really, really did. I kind of wish that, that pass interference wasn't called. Was it pass interference holding? Yes, of course it was. But you don't throw a fucking flag the whole game. No. And then you call it in that situation. It's a tough look. Anyway,
in the heat of it, don't want to see that
that's
flag.
the thing. But I wish Hurts got the ball back with a minute left.
Yep.
Down by 3. Let's see what the fuck he could do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Will it would have played out the same? Who knows? I would love to see it. But yeah, dude, just a really, really entertaining game. One of the better Super Bowls I have ever seen for sure.
Without a doubt.
But it showed you exactly what you need to know in this league now. Defense does not win you championships. No, it doesn't.
Right.
Offense wins you championships in this league now.
Yes.
And teams better start adapting, starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You need as much weapons as the people think the Steelers have on offense. They need more. Trust me, they need more weapons. So offense wins, not defense.
And that's the biggest thing. So the Eagles, the Steelers have the highest paid defense. We know that. It's widely talked about going into this season. The Steelers have the highest paid defense, lowest paid offense. And the problem that I have with it is that the Eagles had the number 1 rated defense, and a defense that mostly dominated pretty much 14 out of their 17 regular season games. I mean, fucking dominated. And so they go through the playoffs. They had an easy run to the Super Bowl. Don't discredit it. They had a pretty easy fucking run to the Super Bowl. They get there. The defense is dog water. I mean, terrible. And so if the Steelers MO, they think that you can still continue to win Super Bowls, defense first, you can't. And it comes back to what we said on this show. You need to be able to average 27 points a game. That Super Bowl, you would have had to put up crazy numbers. And I know the argument is going to be that, the Chiefs defense had a strip sack for a touchdown, and they took another punt like to the 5-yard line. Okay. It doesn't matter, though. They gave up touchdowns every possession and a field goal to end the game on the second half. They could not get off the fucking field.
Yeah, and the thing was why the Eagles were so dominant. Their defense for the whole year in the regular season, it must be so easy for a defense to play sound football when you got a 14 or 17 nothing lead after the fucking first quarter. You know what the fuck the team's gonna do. They ain't running the fucking ball on you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it must be great for a defense to go take the field. When was the last time the Steelers took the field and they had a 2-touchdown lead on a fucking team, bro? You know what I mean? Like it never happened.
It's been so long since we've been able to pin our ears back on defense and actually fucking eat that way. It's been so long, it feels like. So it's just frustrating because one other thing I want to say about our dinner with Kenny, because he said something, and I don't think he'd give a shit that we say this. He believes in Calvin Austin. Like, he thinks that this guy is. He said, he's like, we got Calvin coming back, and I'm like, so Kenny, you think he can be the guy? And he's like, bro, he's so fucking fast. He's like, that whole first week, I mean, this guy can blow the roof off of this thing. So we worry that we might need a slot receiver, but let's not make any doubt about it. We need a veteran wide receiver in that locker room, though. We need a veteran wide receiver. So we're going to add a wide receiver in some capacity in free agency. I would bet on it pretty heavily, or they're going to draft one early. Because you can't just, even though Calvin Austin could be the guy, you can't go into next year thinking that he's 100% going to be the guy until we know he's the guy.
100%.
So we're going to look at adding a wide receiver, but I don't want to go heavy on defense. I don't want to invest a ton of money in the defense anymore. I want to start flipping the script. And if Kenny is our guy that we believe he is, let's fucking blow the roster up for him. Let's add a legitimate another wide receiver. Let's get him some linemen to fucking hold down the fort. And let's really see what Kenny has when he has an elite second year George Pickens, when he has a Deontay Johnson, who's now in his second year with Kenny, and they can build some rapport. Pat Freiermuth should come back and have a big season. Najee found his stride. You have Jaylen Warren. Connor Hayward is now stepping in. I mean, if you have Calvin Austin or whoever that third guy is going to be, we have some weapons. Let's build that line. Let's give them one more wide receiver. And let's stop thinking that you can automatically win Super Bowls with defense, because that's simply just fucking untrue now.
Yeah, I don't want them to draft a cornerback first round. I'd rather go for a tackle. I'd much rather, even if Joey Porter is there, man, I don't know, man. I'd rather go get some line help right away. You know what I mean? Get a guy who can protect Kenny, you know? I mean, because at the end of the day, you need a good offensive line. That's where it gets done, in the trenches. And, the Steelers have Cam Hayward. They should bring back Larry O. So their D-line is pretty good. You got TJ Watt on one edge. You got Highsmith on the other edge. Hopefully he comes back. You know what I mean? So not that you're set for the next decade there, but you don't need it immediately. I mean, go get
Right.
it in a later round or something like that.
Right.
You know, or make a splash in the offseason and bring in a proven D lineman or something like that. But yeah, dude, I want them to draft offense first and second round. You know, get some players,
So that 32nd pick is the interesting one to me because in an ideal world, I could see us going tackle in round one, possibly even a tackle that could be moved to a guard. So there is a guy that we could look at in that realm. I can't remember his name right now, but he could be an elite tackle, but he could have short arms, they said, and he might shift into guard. So either way, that would fill one of those two spots for me. I'd be happy as shit with that first pick. 32nd pick, which is basically the last pick of round one, but it will end up being the first pick of round two. If at that point then they went cornerback, I wouldn't be upset. If at that point they went D-line, I wouldn't be upset. If at that point they went offensive line again, I would not be upset. Any of those three, as long as we go for offensive line with that first pick, I would be pretty okay with, because then we have another early second round pick coming up after that. So if we can add any of those three that we've talked about and re-sign Cam Sutton and re-sign Larry Ogunjobi and add one more piece, because we're going to have the ability to probably sign one more guy, what do you want that last guy to be, Jerry? For me, it's linebacker.
Yeah, it's gotta be linebacker for me as well. I mean, that's a piece. You know, listen, he's a good Steeler. Will he ever be a great Steeler? Probably not. Is he solid enough? Sure. Robert Spillane. I mean, I just don't know what they're going to do with. I mean, Bush is probably gone, right?
Right.
Miles Jack is the question mark, because he did not have a really good year by any means.
No.
I mean, not at all. He looks suspect out there a lot. So I just don't know what you do. I mean, you make some cuts, you get rid of him. I mean, that guy William Jackson the third or whatever his name is sounds like he's out of town.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some money, you know what I mean? And you know, Cam Hayward put out a tweet today. Show goes on. Who knows? Maybe he restructures his deal. You got some money. Go get Edmonds' brother. I mean, and Edmonds is a whole different story. Who knows what the fuck's going on with him? He seems like he's not happy.
So Jerry sends me a tweet yesterday. That was real, Jerry?
That was a real tweet. Yeah, he deleted it. Yeah.
I didn't see it. Did you see a screenshot of it, or you screenshotted that he deleted it?
What are you talking about?
The Edmonds tweet. So Jerry sends me a tweet yesterday. I didn't fucking see it.
Somebody posted it.
So somebody saw that and screenshotted it. So Edmonds basically, what was the tweet? So Jerry sends me this fucking tweet. Hilarious.
Hilarious with a crying face. And then he deleted it. So that just paints the picture like they must have offered him a really, really shitty number.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Hilarious with the crying face. And this was 6:56 yesterday, which would have been Tuesday. It got 9 likes and 1 retweet, and then it was immediately deleted. So what could it be about? Let's not get too, let's not make up a story. I don't want to make up stories, but if it would be in relation to his contract, it could be they offered him a bad number, which who knows, but nonetheless, I would like to re-sign Terrell Edmonds. I think that he does show promise.
You just need another piece.
That's another big spot.
Another spot.
Right.
And is he, like I said, listen, you don't need 11 guys out on defense to make Pro Bowls and be all pros to win. No. You just don't. Look at the Chiefs' defense, bro.
Mm-hmm. I mean, exactly.
You don't need that.
Exactly. I would like a formidable defense. You know what you need, Jerry? And I looked this up after the fact. You need a top 15 defense, but you need a top 7 offense. That is the formula for winning the Super Bowl the last 13 fucking Super Bowls. You need a top 7 offense and a top 15 defense. We can be a top 15 defense.
Easily.
We need to be a top 7 offense to really make a fucking push at this thing moving forward these next couple of years. It's going to start. The combine is going to be a big part of this because the Steelers have, such high picks now. It's Omar Khan's first run at this thing.
Yeah.
It's Andy Weidel. He's going to finally get to put his hands on this roster. So I'm excited as shit about the offseason as far as this is concerned. I think the combine is in 2 weeks, I believe. And then the draft is then a month after that, about 5 weeks after that.
When's the draft? April?
End of April. Yeah. End of April. So, I mean, there's a lot to pay attention to. call us on the hotline. You know, we're going to look at this now since we have some time in the off season. Give us a call. Call us on the Steel Here hotline. The number is 412-259-3362. Give us a call. Tell us what you're thinking about the offseason here. That's one thing that we'll do now that we have some downtime in the offseason is we'll field these calls. We'll play some of them. We'll do a segment. We'll back and forth with you guys on that stuff here moving forward. We'll see you again after the combine. So we'll record after the combine. We find some guys we love. I'll find some guys. Jerry's going to find some guys, unless there is some crazy breaking news between now and then, because free agency is going to open up here in the next couple of weeks. So we might give you one episode directly before that combine, which would be right after free agency opens up, because that could be an exciting period of time as well. So stay tuned. If you guys like the episode, if you like what we're doing, drop us a like. Follow Jersey Jerry on YouTube. He's gained another 1,000 followers in the last month here, Jerry. So people are at least checking out the content that you're putting out there. So we appreciate you guys for doing that. If you subscribe to it, the Jersey Jerry channel, like it, comment it, subscribe it, leave us a like on the episode. We really appreciate the shit out of you guys. And we'll see you again here in a couple of weeks.
All right. I'll see you guys
Later.
We're here. We're still here.
We are still here.